ウマ娘。彼女たちは走るために生まれてきた。
As if we don't have enough waifus already, Cygames is bringing Umamusume to the West. While the anime and mobile game may capture the hearts of horse girl lovers around the world, there's likely a subset of fans who need a little more substance in their pre-workout before they open up their minds, nay, their hearts, to what many have already discovered, and that's Tokai's best girl. But I digress. I had the opportunity to review Umamusume Pretty Derby Party Dash, a video game adaptation of the Umamusume series for consoles. Don't worry, there's no microtransactions here, but Cygames is still going to make you play in order to squeeze out everything the game has to offer. Party Dash features 4 story campaigns told from the perspective of the teams chosen. Players can choose between Team Cosmos, Frisia, Rose, or Lily. While each of the narratives is different, the core theme of each campaign is for the team to come in first at the Splash Dash Grand Prix. I wouldn't call any of the story scenarios significant, as they are just humorous skits between the characters. Still, the developers put an effort into animating the scenes and showcasing each girl's personality. I was surprised to see that much of the campaign is voiced by the respective actors for the large cast. Following the campaign, you'll gain access to even more characters with their own lines, which adds quality to this low-stake narrative. That statement rings even more true when you realize you can skip the story scenes and events themselves. You'll lose out on the rewards, but the developers have put up no roadblocks so players of all skill levels can get what they want from this game. The only prerequisite is admitting that Tokai is best girl. I'm just kidding. You really only need to enjoy Umamusume to enjoy this game. Regarding actual gameplay, there are 4 minigames: hurdling hurdles, blazing baskets, dodgeball demolition, and gourmet gauntlet. While the lineup seems lacking, there's variety within the levels that change them up a little. Still, I think the bizarre exclusion was not having the hurdling hurdle stages be randomly generated. This is arguably the minigame that has the most potential, but every time you play, the layout and levels are the same. As you start to remember the slight shortcuts and routes, it becomes less chaotic over time until you play with someone who has never played them before. Hurdling hurdles is a race across 4 areas. The racers can move between rows on a track to avoid obstacles, pick up items, or get points. However, the goal is to be at the end of each stage first, and then your scores are added up at the end. It's enjoyable and hectic, but as I said, it gets old after a few matches. Then there's blazing baskets, where you can battle for a ball and shoot it in a basket. This minigame actually becomes very chaotic across the match as more and more hazards pop up, and it ended up being one of my favorite minigames to play with friends. Dodgeball demolition isn't anything special, and although there could be some strategy involved here, it's just a game that I didn't really get attached to. Gourmet Gauntlet is also pretty weak, as it just gets a bit boring once you figure out the nuances of the minigame. That reminds me, the tutorials aren't very helpful at all, and while they explain what you're going to do, they don't tell you which buttons that you're going to press, which only adds to early frustration as you're trying to learn the games. Regardless, each minigame consists of 2 or 3 actions tops. While this keeps the learning curve down, it also puts gamers of all skill levels on an even playing field. Further, like many of Cygames' other titles, Party Dash has a fair amount of content that is locked behind progression. Whether it's a new character or a special skill, everything you do in the game does provide some rewards. Once you complete some of the story chapters, you can spend money at the shop to buy some furniture for your clubhouse, or also scout tickets to turn in for scout characters and build up your team. Interestingly, an entertaining minigame is locked behind an item. If you purchase the game console and add it to your room, you can play a roguelike adventure as Goldship. It's a straightforward game, but honestly, I was hooked. I just loved the constant rewards and gradual increase in challenges, and actually I found myself more addicted to the single player content of this minigame than the actual story chapters. But I should say that playing the minigames alone just isn't that fun. With actual people, on the other hand, it's a pretty enjoyable time. Party Dash features some awesome pixel art for the cast of 25 characters. The game's stages and overall style translate to the clubhouse feature, where you can design rooms for the teams and watch them interact with the various furniture. character. The music is also decent, delivering what I feel is a well-rounded and high-quality experience for fans to enjoy. As for the downsides, I do believe there could have been more for the price. The base cost of Party Dash is almost the cost of the most recent Demon Slayer party game. However, there's way more content in the Demon Slayer game. Party Dash caters mainly to fans, and the experience will vary depending on your attachment to these characters. All that said, there's plenty of ways to get your money's worth considering the extra content and online multiplayer systems where you can design your own Grand Prix with other players. However, I'd say this isn't a bad game to pull out when you want to have some local multiplayer fun. I should also mention some frame rate issues on the PC version when things got a little extra chaotic, which does have me wary of the Switch version. Umamusume Pretty Derby Party Dash packs fun moments across its limited set of minigames. While I wish there were more content, what's here is enough quality to warrant a few hours of hanging out with Toka, I mean the horse girls. The pixel art is gorgeous, and the in-game rewards with new characters on the way showcase that there's plenty of ways to enjoy this chaotic party game. Noisy Pixel is giving Umamusume Pretty Derby Party Dash a 6.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching. This video is brought to you by your supporters on Patreon. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers providing independent gaming coverage through news, reviews, previews, and more. Check out our Patreon to help support our continued growth, and subscribe to keep up with all our future content.
Noisy Pixel.